movements, but can also be a conduit for misinformation.
Like I that point that you said, like, 3 networks, the news is the news, that's what you get. So people were looking for, what happened in the world. But now you write that they're looking for something very different. What are those things?
Yeah, this does not sit well with most people. People are like, no, I just want to know the truth. Unfortunately, no, you don't. I don't either. We don't actually want the truth. Once a particular social identity is salient in our mind, then our motivations to understand the world are very much going to be driven by that social identity. What we are driven by as human beings is not so much accuracy. We are driven by motivations related to what I have dubbed the 3 C's, and those are comprehension, control, and community.
Coochie, condoms, and crackers.
So we want to comprehend the world. That is, we just want to understand it, feel like we understand it, even if that understanding is not real. We want to have control. That is, some sense of agency and power. Even if we're not truly empowered, we want to feel like we have power. And finally is community. We want to feel like we are part of a social group, mainly because we survive in groups. And so that is what makes us feel whole and safe, is knowing that we are part of a community. And so my needs for comprehension, control, and community, I'm going to want to fulfill through the lens of that social identity. I'm going to want to understand the world the way that my team does. I'm going to want to control it in ways that are good for my team. And I'm going to want to enact community in the same way that my team members do.
I mean, more simply put, right? I want to feel like I understand this world, that I matter in this world, that I belong in this world. So
that's it. That's it. And those 3 things are very functional for us as social animals.
I mean, obviously you're a professor and you do the research, but you've written about your own sort of personal experience and why you feel like you really understand this more than just researching and writing about it from your ivory tower.
Sure. My first husband was sick with a benign brain tumor that ultimately took his life in 2006. And his illness, it felt like it came out of nowhere. It was months of surgeries, him living in the hospital, me trying to raise our 1-year-old baby alone. It was, my whole world was falling apart, right? I hadn't finished my dissertation yet. I was in graduate school, and I have a baby, and my husband's dying. And it was very clear to me that if I didn't find some kind of pathway forward, I literally would lose my mind. A few months in, I'd say, I started looking online. Where could this have come from? Could this have been from his work? Were there other people at his office that have this? And then thinking about, what about the doctors? Are the doctors doing a good job? Why is he having multiple surgeries? Are they giving him substandard care? All of these negative cognitions, they were a reason to get out of bed because I felt no control over his disease. What those things offered me, they offered me targets to be angry at, right? Are there people who are doing bad things in the shadows, keeping those from us, and we shouldn't know about them? That actually is the meta-narrative underlying all conspiracy theory beliefs. There are people in the shadows who are powerful, who are doing bad things and hiding the truth from us. So I was, whether or not I knew it, down a conspiracy theory rabbit hole. And it offered me different versions of comprehension. Where did the tumor come from? It also offered me a sense of control because, okay, if there are chemicals in the environment, if it's his workplace or our neighborhood, then I could, start an organization and I could tackle that. I have someone to be angry at. Actually genetic, and I'd probably been there since birth. What changed my path was this giant group of friends who established very quickly.
Can't live off smoke alone.